so you're all listening and paying attention. Thank you. I'm really, really pleased with your efforts this Newsday. I think as we go along through the semester, you are getting better, okay? You are getting better at working together. You are getting better at hitting your deadlines. You're getting better at communicating, and you're learning lots of new skills. Alice, I like the way you led the programme meeting this morning. Thought you put some thought into it. You'd come with your own stories. You gave everybody very clear instructions about what you needed them to do and when, and that was really good. I like the fact that a lot of you got out early and did some news gathering tweets for us, and most of you made that 12 o'clock deadline for putting the story on the website, so well done. Shall we have a look at what they did? Let's have a look. So look at some early tweets to start you off. So Tom Portier's here in Bungay, the Warm Rooms project. I like the fact that we've got 4 photographs, Tom, that's really nice. What I would like you to have done is to tell me what the Warm Rooms project is. Yeah, because I don't know from reading that tweet. So just needed another sentence which said the Warm Rooms project, which is there to help people who can't afford to heat their own homes.
Yeah, some hashtags like heat or eat would go down really well with something like that, because they're sort of trending topics as well online.
Yeah, all right, but nice use of photographs. Holly Clement, currently Escape Nature at in a Norwich. In a Norwich what, darling?
Oops.
Okay, so there's a word missing, and also the word
I think there's an extra word.
Okay. And then currently should have a capital C as well. Talking to Joe about the benefits of being a plant parent. I mean, again, I wonder if some hashtags might have been helpful there.
Yeah.
You know,
tagging Escape Nature as well would have been good.
He doesn't have a Twitter.
He doesn't have Twitter.
No.
Okay.
Oh, fair enough then.
Yeah, but something around well-being, health, feeling good, that kind of thing. Yeah, that might have improved that a little bit, and sorting out those little grammatical errors. So that's an important job. Is if you notice, as editor, if you notice that one of the tweets has got grammatical errors in it, you can go back to your reporter and say, oh, just delete that one and do one that's correct. Or you can always say to your editor, oh, just check this over, will you, before I tweet it, just to make sure I haven't got anything wrong. That's a good idea as well. Let's have a look at some more. Jack McLean, I've been out in Norwich to see what the public think of lifting the restrictions that have happened today. UA Journalism, COVID-19 Norwich. Good, I like that. I think the photo perhaps could be improved a little bit by a bit of cropping.
Yep.
Yeah, because at the moment it's mostly about Topshop and not so much about COVID.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
A closer picture would have been more
Closer picture would have been nice.
understandable, really, more than anything.
Yeah, good. Paris. My setup for an interview with Norfolk Police about the mobile phone campaign taking place this week. It's a nice little photo of work in progress. I quite like that. Again, I think we just need a little bit more information.
Yeah.
The mobile phone campaign, well, what mobile phone campaign? You know, is it about people who, I don't know, are being scammed on their mobile phones? Is it about people who are having them stolen? No, it's about phone driving.
Why did you not at Norfolk Police or, Fatal 4,
I
hashtag
just
Fatal
noticed
4,
that.
something like that? That sort of stuff needs to be in there. Yeah. But this kind of thing is nice, and that always goes quite well online as well. The behind the scenes, how I do it sort of
it always
stuff.
comes up on like my social media and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're doing it on Twitter and not TikTok, but there's a journalist that always comes up that's just like her behind the scenes of it. I think she works for ITV and all of that. So.
Yeah, and they work really well, those kind of things.
Yeah, it's nice. So just next time, a bit more detail about what the story actually is and some hashtags, and tag in Norfolk Police, tag in UEA Journalism as well. Let's have a look at them some more. Keris. Currently interviewing Leanne Frid and filming shot sequences for her bookshop, Bookbugs and Dragon Tales, being in the run for Independent Bookshop of the Year. You've told me what the story is. Hurrah!
Yes, great.
I
Excellent.
just wish I tagged her.
Yes,
Exactly.
that would have been the thing. If you tagged her, that would have been
She's
better.
lovely.
Good.
The other thing you could have done is hashtag City of Literature, because that's Norwich, isn't it? Norwich is City of Literature,
Yeah.
so that's a big hashtag. That you
And
could have
City
put
of
in.
Stories, that's
City
the
of
other one you
Stories,
use.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anything to do with literature and UEA City of Stories, or you could have tagged that in.
Okay.
Another capital C needed on currently.
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking now.
I'm so used to not doing
I
that.
do that as well, yeah.
Let's get it correct. And also, just like, I'm going to be really picky now, but shot sequences, we know what that is, but your audience don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless it's a piece where you are doing a behind the scenes thing, just to think, even if I am, well, I need to explain what that is. You know, you might say I'm shooting a video.
Yeah, or just filming Leanne, bookshop, bugs. You know, you could have just said that and be filming.
Yeah. But what I do want to say is I think that's a very nice photograph.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I really like that photograph. She's sat in between the two bookshelves. We can clearly see her smiling. She's holding a book. It gives me a real sense of that place and makes me want to go visit.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice picture. Well done. Right, Alice. First bus affected majorly by recent storms. Read my article on the UEA journalism site. And we've got a link. Excellent.
That's nice. Tag in first bus next time.
Yeah, I
as
did
well.
on my second tweet.
Oh, did you? Great.
Well done. You remembered the second
Well
time
done.
around. So I really like the fact that we know what the story is. We've got a link to it, and because we've got a link to it and the story's all up, we can see who he is.
I would have preferred a bus picture, I think, than a man picture.
The featured image is now a bus, but at the time it wasn't.
Fair enough. Okay.
Good. So again,
There you go. It's been working through it. That's
So
great.
you've improved as the day goes on. Once you did that, you realise actually a man doesn't illustrate a bus as well as a bus illustrates a bus. Okay. So yeah,
There's
nice.
a bus behind them there.
It looks a bit like a hand.
It's like a little hat.
Right, well done, Alex. Right, and to Lauren. So, what's Lauren been doing? Lauren's been on the lead story today, the Russian invasion in Ukraine. So I like that. First of all, we've got a behind the scenes. This is what I'm doing. War has returned to Europe, and I'm working on a social media package to explain what's really going on.
Yeah, it's a great shot, Lauren. I really like that. I think it just looks really newsy and busy, actually, which is exactly what the day is like.
Yeah, and you've got your little flags as well. That's quite nice. And then the other thing that you did that I really liked was that you gave us some updates through the course of the day. So we got the comments from Boris Johnson, what he said, and then also you quoted him a little bit more and you furthered that quote. So we had a Twitter thread going on there. So that was quite a nice thing to do. And I think what we can do, what we can take away from this is that let's build on that next time, okay? So when you've got a massive breaking news story like that, maybe allocate 2 people to it, yeah? Because it's such a big job, right? And I think you actually had that idea, but in the end it didn't happen. I can't remember why. But actually maybe allocate, it was your idea, wasn't it?
It's because I wanted Jack to do COVID, because I thought that was another important story, but...
Which is a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reason. So I think your original idea was the right one, which would have been to allocate 1 person to do the background explainer and 1 person to do the live updates, because it's such an important job that it becomes overwhelming if you put it all onto 1 person.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the BBC had 3 people doing the live updates alone on the website today. So yeah, you really do. You need a lot of hands on deck for a fast-paced, changing story like this one.
Cool.
All right, should we look at some videos? What have we got there? Need to do that. Do I need to do that?
I think you need to do that. Password, I love biscuits.
So yeah, if we go to our homepage, we'll be able to see them all anyway.
Great.
Right, okie dokie. So we're starting with Phoenix.
I just felt this is something that Alsham's missing. Alsham's, yes, a small market town, but with new housing happening all the time, I still felt there was money out there. Hospitality, from what I could see in rural places, was quite big. Everyone was supporting the Eat Out campaign that has in the pandemic. The pubs were still quite busy. So I just felt this is something that the market town was missing. So I just had a crazy idea to combine it all. and this small unit was available at the time, which would just be brilliant in this old building. So I thought, let's have a go. So it was an easy decision to make, I'll be honest, but setting it up has been very difficult.
Right, thank you, Phoebe. What do you want to say about that, Jenny?
So I think there were some really nice shots in there. I thought the interview was good, and I could tell that you used a tripod for that interview.
Yeah.
She was very good, wasn't she? It was a story that wasn't the story you were expecting to do last week, but we found a new way of getting into it, didn't we? With the sort of like opening up a business after so many other hospitality businesses had closed during the pandemic. So she was good, you got some information in there, and it was sort of done in a social media style. I think when we looked through it, we were identifying some spellings and things like that. We needed to go through it again, didn't we, just to check, because there were still a couple of typos on there. So I think that's one thing to look out for next time. But, you know, you hit all your deadlines today, Phoebe. You got your online video done, you got your tweets done, and you got your online report done. So you've done everything that was asked of you. I thought the background was nice, actually, in that interview as well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Phoebe. Should we do another one? I think we're on Paris next.
Mobile phones is one of those campaigns. Using a mobile phone whilst driving is what we define as part of the fatal four, so one of those offences that is intrinsically linked to killed and serious injury collisions. So it's something we take seriously, and it's around enforcement and education. I'd recommend they put the phone away, because what you have to appreciate is by taking that call, you are 4 times more likely to be involved in a collision. Okay, the impairment whilst on a phone, even hands-free, is similar to the impairment of being under the influence of alcohol. So is it worth taking that call whilst driving?
Okay, fine. Slightly abrupt ending, wasn't it, on that?
Yeah.
I don't know, they needed a fade or something
I put a
down
fade in
there.
and you told me to get rid of it.
No, a fade on the audio.
Oh.
It snapped out, didn't it, a bit too
Okay.
fast. But I like the 2 different styles of text that you had going on there. You know, for your facts and figures, it was sort of like really in the middle of the screen, and then you had the sort of subtitling going on, which was nice. What I was really impressed with, actually, for all of you this week, and it's something that we talked about after the last Newsdays, I said I don't want to see any more of your friends, however nice they are, on our screens, and you've all spoken to real people today, and that's great. That's exactly what you need to be doing, you know, and you're getting good stories as a result. Spoken to the police, and you've got that contact there now,
Yeah.
and you're going to be able to move that story
Follow it
on.
up
What's the
next
update?
week.
What's the follow-on? And that's how stories grow, and that's how your contacts grow. So I thought that was great. Yes.
I've got a question. You know, like when you do the social media videos, do you need to caption who you're speaking to, or it's not really relevant when you do
No,
that?
you do. You need to know who it is, and in fact Phoebe did, but it was up high, up on the top left.
Ah.
So it wasn't sort of down in the usual lower third area.
Yeah.
But she did put, you know, it was
So-
Inspector Simon Jones from
Yeah.
Norfolk Police, wasn't it? So it was on there. But do you know, it's funny. I missed it first time, so I wonder if maybe.
Yeah, it was just because where the captioning
Where the
was.
captioning was
I was
a
like,
bit
I
of
don't
a
want to
crash
move
into
them
each other,
because
wasn't
people
it?
do tend to have them at the bottom.
Yeah.
So.
And why was he not in landscape?
So even though I pinned him to be the only person in view on Teams, when I got the video downloaded and all of that, I was still there, and I was like, why am I here? I pinned him to be the only speaker.
So a few technical issues.
And there was just a few technical issues, so Helen just worked with
I
me
really
to just get the
enjoyed
blog and
watching it,
saved
to
it.
be honest.
Did you?
Oh,
Good.
I
What
was
did you like
interested.
about it, Keris?
I don't know, I feel like I liked all the facts and I was actually really interested in what it was saying.
Yes.
Because I didn't think that many people like got arrested or got things from it or
Yeah.
died or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good news lines. There
All
were
the
some
use of
good
music was really good as
statistics.
well.
Oh, I found that song, and then I saw, just when it was on the screen, I thought, oh, it's going up there. Let me just cut it there and seeing
Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
works, I was like,
Music is tricky. Music can either make something go horribly wrong or work okay. And with a serious story, it's difficult to do music.
yeah.
But actually, that was fine. It was kind of there, but not there. It didn't dominate. So yeah, it worked well. That was a good social media video.
I think yeah, just as a quick thought is next time you want to film some traffic or some cars, maybe go that away.
Yeah.
Because on St Stephen's there's that big dual carriageway
Yeah.
bit, and it just might look a little bit. You might get some better footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, should we do another one? Here we go.
I think it's very sort of mindful. Watering my plants, for example, it's just a thing that you can just do in the quiet and keep your mind occupied. Yeah, so I always feel bad saying this because obviously everyone was locked down and some businesses didn't do fantastic, but our online skyrocketed. And yeah, I mean, because people were at home more, they were focusing more on stuff at home and new hobbies, so yeah, we did pretty well. And I always feel bad saying that.
He's laughing.
I'm interested in what you thought of that. Yeah, what did you like about it?
Mine is on my Twitter.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
took me like 7 attempts to
Yeah,
get
so
it. So good.
You did some great filming in this piece. I really like your shots. They were just beautiful. Yeah, really lovely, really creative, really vibrant. I kind of looked at it and thought, oh wow, I'd want that. I'd love that plant. You know, it was sort of, I was really engaged with it for that reason. Next time, if you haven't got a mic that attaches into your camera, go closer to your phone, then go closer with your phone. He was just a bit too far away and echoey, wasn't he? So that was sort of one sort of small change, but yeah, I think generally it worked really well. And you seemed calmer and happier today than I think I've seen you on a Newsday. So you know, and you've really achieved, and you've done it yourself. Yeah, you filmed it yourself. You found a person that you'd never spoken to before. So I think there's some big strides forward that you've made today, Holly.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's have another one. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning.
Nice.
I think it's possible we've got it on
Long overdue. It should have been ended ages ago. And way over the top.
That's
You
good
want? Yeah,
information.
I literally went through it.
Right down there.
There's no point. 6 months.
It's got to raise the open the country
Well, that's ridiculous, but I suppose the government have got to recoup something somehow.
Not all well-paid workers have to choose whether or not to lose 3 or 5 days' pay. That's a big decision for somebody to make. You know, do I pay the bills, feed the kids, or do I take 5 days off and not get paid? Should be something where low-paid workers don't have to pay for those tests. It seems to be more of an economic decision than anything. You know, again, it's decisions that are making the Prime Minister popular.
Jump cuts in that?
No, that's what has happened there is the edit is just
Is it just
it's where it's rendered somehow
right.
ridiculously.
Okay.
I don't know if it's online or
Yeah, no,
something.
that's fine. Yeah, as long as that's not you editing
No,
like that, that's
no.
fine. Okie dokie.
It was really slow on there as well, like the video itself. Like here it's fine.
I like the time lapse.
Yeah,
I
very
thought that was
nice.
lovely. I like that shot into that
Yeah.
photograph there as well. I just wondered in terms of captioning this gentleman, when he starts, I mean, this lady here,
She's
the sound was no good. Was
Yeah.
it? She should have gone because the sound was awful on her.
I think without her though, I would have lost a lot.
Yeah, okay. I thought this chap here, I'm really glad you got Usdor.
Yeah.
You know, that made it much stronger. But here where he says no well, you didn't need to caption that bit, did you?
No.
You could have just said low paid workers. You could have just started there.
Yeah.
You can edit out people's idiosyncratic speech.
Yes.
You know, just to make it clearer.
Yeah.
What else did you think?
I felt that I wanted that Usdor still up longer.
Okay.
And I think there was a couple of times where actually, I don't know what everybody else felt, but I didn't have time to read everything that was on the screen. It moved a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
And not because I'm all old, but because, you know, it just takes a while to read stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if you'd have kept the Usdor still up a little bit longer, maybe just even moved on it or something, or got a waveform on if we could have found out some sort of waveform, that could have worked really nicely, because I felt that you were maybe reusing a couple of pictures in that.
I didn't actually reuse
No, there
any,
were some that
but
were
they
very
quite
similar, weren't
yeah,
there?
yeah.
So yeah, that was fine though. Other than that, yeah, you got some nice boxes. The audio was tricky today, wasn't it? The weather wasn't great.
Mobiles aren't great for it.
Mobiles are not great for gathering audio. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it was the second most important story of the day. You got a really strong angle on it. It wasn't just Vox Pops, it was Vox Pops and what about people on low pay.
Yeah.
So it's good, some good stuff in there. Okay, who haven't we seen and where will I find them?
Mine is on the UEA journalism piece, but it's quite far down. And it's also on my Twitter.
And is it on the UEA Journalism website?
The video, yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. That's Tom. This
It's
one?
there, yeah.
Our services were affected majorly by the storms last week, and it's unusual to have so many storms come together. So what really happens is the bus itself isn't affected because they can take some strong winds, and particularly in the city the winds aren't so bad. But what really does affect the bus is what happens around the rest of the city. So with the ring road having issues and water washing away the roads, that then made major delays across the city. So what we can do sometimes is, like on this instance, we had the XL service had to be cancelled due to the high winds. We used some of those vehicles inside the city to try and alleviate the delays. One thing that would really help us as a company is when people arrive on the bus to get on is that they're ready. The biggest thing that happens is when someone gets on the bus and says, "Can I have a day ticket?" and then they then proceed to get their purse or wallet out of their bag. That'd be great if people could be ready as they get on. And do remember that we do take contactless, and you can prepay on that, because the faster we can get everyone on, the quicker the bus can get back on time.
I can't believe they shifted their delays on us.
They did, didn't they?
You know how there's a jump cut? I swore I covered it with
Yeah,
footage.
yeah. Well, at least you spotted it. There we go.
Yeah.
It's easily done. I felt that wandered off to a different point by the end. It started out as a story about storm units and the impact on the buses, and then it ended up with passengers are taking too long to pay, and it would really help if they didn't get their purses out and ask for day tickets. I just felt maybe what it needed to do was come back to the storms a bit more at the end, which you could have done just in text form, and maybe even some really good images of storm units would have really lifted that. You know, that you could have just pulled off the internet or something like that to just sort of, maybe just some stills of storm damage and things like that could have just really lifted it. Otherwise we've just got a man and some buses, and it was fine, but a way to develop it, I think next time is just keep your idea in mind that, okay, this is a story about storm impact on the buses, and just keep it on that subject.
Yeah. I think the other thing to say to some of you, it's great that you're going out and pre-preparing stuff, but if you're doing that, it still has to be a story that has relevance today. Yeah, and a story about the buses today when the storm's finished a while ago is still, we have to find a new angle on it. Yeah, so think about that. If you are pre-shooting, you make sure that you find a new angle on it. Either it's a story that just nobody's done before, and that's fine. But if it's a story that's pegged to something like Tom was going to do the Light Festival, and then he dropped that because it was last week's story, Yeah, so try and find a new angle on the story if you're following up something that happened a while ago.
We did this with your mobile phone thing, didn't we? We found out that the law was changing on the 25th of March, which moves the story on really nicely and gives it that kind of new angle to it.
Right, William's up. Okay, thanks, William.
Right, well, was that a campaign video or was that a piece of journalism? I think the Norfolk Wildlife Trust, if we put that out, would be thrilled. They'd be like, yeah, great, you're really helping us fundraise. There needed to be just a bit more distance, I think, between yourself as a reporter and the story, because it just went over into just being an advert and a campaign video for a charity. Also, how much of that did you film, or was that all footage that somebody else?
A couple of the clips are filmed, but the Norfolk Wildlife Trust sent me videos. They said, "Oh, we can't Zoom call you today. We'll send you a bunch of videos."
Okay, so most of the videos came from them, and then you did a phone interview, did you, with somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okie dokie.
But it's not. He wasn't from Norfolk Wildlife Trust. I think he was from Surrey Wildlife Trust.
Oh, right, okay.
So near to home. But yeah, I would have to credit him.
We needed to know who he was.
Yeah,
We didn't get a name,
he said
did
he's
we?
the wildlife.
Yeah, but I know a name.
Okay.
I mean, it's Bob, Joe, Dave.
Yeah, his name was Mol.
We need to know his name. Okay. So yeah, again, I mean, it's the same thing that keeps coming up, Will. We need more of your own footage.
So basically is fresh.
There are some creative ideas in it, though, with your subtitling. And there's a couple of moments where you all smiled a bit, you know, when water voles came up really big, or miraculous whatever came up really big. That was nice. But yeah, you got to film it yourself, Sunshine. Yeah.
It's hard to spot a water vole. Go out.
You're never going to get one on the day. You're never going to get a water vole on the day. But there are other things you could have filmed.
Yeah, you could have gone. Did you go there?
Yeah, I went to the actual marsh.
Okay, good. But so we could have had. I mean,
it wasn't that remarkable though.
And so then you start to question why you're doing the story. Yeah.
All right. Who haven't we seen?
Mine's on my Twitter. I think it's on there as well. Actually.
I think we've got through most people's then, haven't we?
Bookshop.
Where are you at, love?
It's just going to take me a while to do my subtitles.
Well, how about we have it without?
Okay.
Let's have it
It'd be
without.
nice to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really feel confident.
Well, it's tough. It doesn't matter whether you feel comfortable or not, mate. Programme's going out.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, tough. That's news.
Fair enough.
Right.
News.
Right. Let's have a look at what Keris has done.
Yeah, love it.
Scared by the tiger's roar, the crocodile splashed back into the water. It swam to the marshes on the other side of the river.
I think to be recognised as doing something that's special and that makes a difference is really lovely. We don't do this for awards and things, because we do it because we love it. But for other people to see value in what we do is just wonderful, and it makes me really proud.
Vera picked it up. It was a token in the shape of a piece with the word courage.
When we were putting together the application, we obviously had to highlight, you know, the things that we did. And I was in tears as I was putting it together, because I was so incredibly proud of all of the diverse and wonderful things we do to kind of try and make people welcome and, you know, encourage diversity, and other things that we do, like we've read Under Dippy's Tail, we're part of the Norwich Science Trail, we work with schools all the time and things, so it's just heartening, I think, to be considered.
I think it should win the Independent Bookshop of the Year, because it's such a unique creative space, and you can't come in here and not smile.
Brilliant.
I love that.
Right, I think that's the best one today. Anybody else?
Yeah, definitely.
It
By far.
just hit the mark. It really did, didn't it? Lovely featured sound right from the beginning with that woman roars. You're just going, what? You know, you're sort of interested and you're engaged. The subtitling was perfect. You told me exactly what I needed to know. There was a story that was being told. The quotes that we used were just lovely. She was great. She was a great character. But the author, I mean, well done for getting her. That was really nice to just have those voices. Any other thoughts on that?
Genuinely thought that was the best thing we've seen in a long time. It was really good. It was really happy. It was a proper. It was brilliant.
Yeah. And it was a news story, wasn't it? Because it's still happening, you know, it's going to go
I was
on.
thinking I could go back and see if she wins.
Absolutely you should.
Really
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a follow-up story to be done.
Yeah.
Definitely. What did you think, Claire?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really nice piece. I thought you were a bit unlucky because you got there just as all the little kids were leaving, so I thought you couldn't film the kids.
But you got round it.
But
by
you
going
got
to tell a story.
you got round it in a really nice way. I agree with Jenny. That was my standout for today. I thought it was a really lovely piece. Well done, you. Well
Can I
done.
just mention one thing? This goes to everyone as well. When you're interviewing someone, make sure you're on their eye level.
Yes, we spoke about this. Paris has got a
I
reason.
was trying to do that, but I didn't put a chair, but I had to do the microphone, and she was sat, so I was like this, and it was hurting my back, so I had to stand up, and then
Okay,
she was
fair
looking at me as I was standing up, so I was like, oh no.
Should have kneeled.
All right, we should look at what Lauren has done. So Lauren's had a few challenges today, but we've got a nice website with a photo. We've got some text. We've got an embedded tweet from Boris Johnson, which is nice.
Excellent.
Like that. We've got a bit more text, and then we've got a little bit of video.
If I'm honest, not a lot, just from what's been on the news this morning.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
I
so
can
that
do
was the
that
beginning of it.
Yeah.
And it didn't get finished. What happened, Lauren? You had a tracky day. Tell us about it.
I just I didn't think the screen recording of the footage would take as long as it did, because I even just was going down and just doing the bits that I wanted, but it still was taking ages, and then the quality wasn't so good, so I wanted to change that as well. And then when I was trying to put it onto Premiere, it wasn't the right, my clips weren't right, and then I should have just asked for help earlier, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's a really good lesson, isn't it? When you're on a big story and you're finding it really difficult, do not suffer in silence. Put your hand up and say, I need help. And say that sooner, because it's a real challenge to do something as difficult as this. You know, the BBC, ITN, Channel 4, they will have all had huge teams of people on this story today. It's complicated, it's fast moving, there's verification to be done of the tweets and the local footage. It's going to be a challenge. Okay?
I thought it was really good how you got all the tweets out because it was I could see it on the TV and it was changing literally every 10 minutes, and you did do a good job. I kept seeing, I've got your notifications. So I can see all your tweets.
Yeah. There's a lot of positives to take from it today. There really are.
It's
You
been
tried
an
to keep on top
experience.
of a difficult, fast-moving international news story,
Yeah.
and that is hard, especially when you're on your own.
Yeah. Very hard. Well done, and well done for the Twitter efforts. Guys, it's already 5 o'clock. I think me and Jenny will have to give him Tom his feedback in a minute.
I've done.
You've done?
Can we just quickly make mention of Alice as well today? Just in terms of how did we feel with Alice?
Alice's
editing
leadership, how do we
position?
feel that
Really
went?
good. Yeah, she was so supportive when we were doing the Voxes, because I was a bit nervous about doing them, but she was like, no, we'll keep going. And then, yeah.
Good.
So
What else did
supportive,
she do well?
very good.
Very efficient, knew what was going on, what time and when, always helping people when they needed something.
Good. What else did Alice do
She
well?
brought biscuits!
Yes! Bring biscuits. Right, guys. I'm going to tell you that in order for everyone to fulfil their duties, this is what we're doing for the next 2 news days.